Hi and welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. I'm Kay and this is Ruben.
I'm still me. Atomic Blonde is another adaptation from a graphic novel written by Anthony Johnston and it's called The Coldest City, I believe. Atomic Blonde stars Charlize Theron, aka the South African that we love.
Yeah.
So we may be a little biased. I was really excited going into this film because it was Charlize Theron, and I think she does heroin so strong. She's heroin so strong. She does heroin. Yeah,
you know.
She
plays the heroin.
A really strong heroin.
Yeah.
The way I'm saying it sounds like
heroin.
She's doing drugs.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So we saw her as Furiosa in Mad Max.
Yeah.
Which I thought she was phenomenal in, and that was a very stylistic film, and nobody thought that they were going to do that with Mad Max.
So let's just have a quick synopsis of what the plot is for Atomic Blonde. Basically, in a nutshell, it's the height of the Cold War. The Cold War, the Iron Curtain, the big cold fight between the USSR and the USA. You know, who's got more nukes? No nukes, no nukes. And who has more potential to destroy the world, like 8 times over? And what's the point of that, really? But anyway, so it's 1989. It's set in Berlin. The most amazing historic backdrop, I would say.
Welcome to Berlin.
And for me, one of the highlights of the film was the fact that it was set in Berlin just before the wall came down. And obviously I'm a bit older and I remember the wall coming down, actually. And so for me, to sort of be able to relive that little bit of history was really exciting. But that's just in the background. That's just what's happening sort of as the scenery.
Yeah.
It's got nothing really to do with the story. So it's spies, like the height of the spy genre, where it's like a retro James Bond.
Cut the crap, shall we?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing, because technology isn't what we have today. This is 1989.
Yeah.
So you know, think listening to Depeche Mode on a cassette tape Walkman. That's the sort of technology that you've got to deal with. But I thought that the plot was pretty straightforward. It's, you know, it's the Cold War, it's spies. So you've got your main players. You've got your CIA, your KGB, your MI6, and French intelligence. I mean, that's your spy movie, isn't it?
It's all of them mashed into one.
Yeah.
So it's directed by David Leitch, who many may not have heard of. He did a short Deadpool movie, actually. And his history, though, is not of directing, which is, so it's interesting that they gave him this.
Yeah.
And actually, you'll see that there's a whole kind of team now developed from this, and maybe before the Deadpool team, I guess we could call it. So, because he's going to be directing Deadpool 2. And the cinematographer in this directed John Wick, which this David Leitch was a stunt choreographer on, and actually that's where his background is. He's just, if you look on IMDb, he has a whole page just to stunts, and he's done everything from Turtles, I mean, you name it, the big
Tron,
films.
Conan, Turtles, Hitman, the Bourne
Legacy
series,
yeah.
X-Men 300, etc., etc.
And I think this is where the film excels. The choreography for the stunts. I mean, there was one particular fight scene where Charlize is fighting some guys in a stairwell. And you can see some of it in the trailer. So again, I would say avoid trailers because so annoying. But this is, I came out thinking, and I said to Kay that this is more hard hitting than the tough scenes that you see probably in John Wick and Bourne. It's done so well, but it's so believable. So when Charlize gets hit in the face, you feel it. When she hits someone or stabs them in the knee or in the neck or the throat or throws them down the stairs or they tumble down the stairs, you really feel it. And this is where the film stands out as a spy action thriller movie. But that's for me where it stopped. And that's where I felt that it didn't really know what it was or what it wanted to be.
Yeah, am I a spy thriller or am I an action film?
Yeah. There are other great actors in it. So I would say the other half of the main character is
James McAvoy?
yeah, James McAvoy or the guy from the X-Men.
Welcome to Berlin. I'm
Professor
Seriously,
Xavier.
we just
Professor
can't,
X.
we can't get it right.
Yeah, so James McAvoy, you know he can act. He's just done Split. He's got an
Oh,
upcoming
he was amazing in
sequel to Split called Glass, which is Unbreakable 2, which is a film I'm so excited about. So even with that high caliber of actors in it, I felt the story really lacked in fleshiness. They didn't flesh it out.
Maybe it was just a lack of detail.
I'll take your word for it.
There are other actresses and actors in this as well. There's the notable John Goodman. He's fantastic and has great presence. He's the American kind of operative that is in joint task with the British task force, MI6.
Yep.
And there is Sofia Boutella, who you may know from The Mummy. She was Aminette. She was really good in that, actually.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing about The Mummy. And she plays a spy, a French spy operative that, from the trailers, you'll see that there's this sexy scene. And it develops with Charlize Theron. And I don't know what else her point of this. I think she's massively underutilized in this film.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen more of her because I thought her character was interesting.
Yeah.
They didn't really.
And we know that she
it.
can really act. So why not use her?
Yeah. Where the film does stand out is in its cinematography and its music.
Yes.
So Tyler Bates is the composer for this, and Tyler Bates, if you don't know names of music, he's done Guardians of the Galaxy, which is very stylistic and it's very specific, and the music in Guardians of the Galaxy kind of drives the film a lot, which I would say is the same for this.
Yeah. Definitely.
Again, you mentioned Depeche Mode earlier.
Depeche Mode, yeah.
It has feels of like Daft Punk 80s rock and roll synth.
Yeah, sort of. It even has a little bit of a German industrial feel, which is brilliant because that's exactly where it's set. Definitely an 80s soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know, took me right back to my days in a boarding school, sitting there listening with my cassette tape to Depeche Mode.
Yeah. And then you mix that in with the cinematographer, who is also going to be the cinematographer of Deadpool 2. So there's definitely a band of guys that stick together. But there are shots where you see Charlize in... I mean, I don't know how many ice baths she had, like 5 or 6.
Oh my goodness.
We see Charlize naked a lot. And some of the guys will go, woohoo! But...
it's not necessary.
Not necessary. Anyway, some of the shots are so beautiful, like perfect blue tones contrast with pink, red tones.
Yeah.
The neon kind of vibe worked.
Really brought out the 80s sort of color scheme and the vibrancy, and they also contrasted that beautifully between East and West Berlin. So in West Berlin you had a lot more vibrant color, a lot more sort of life, neons, and then East Berlin was just the greys and the blue tones and the grit and the grime and the kind of it's all been ground down by communism, and I thought they displayed that very beautifully in the film.
And I don't know who does the credits for these films. Not a lot of mention is actually mentioned in these films when you get clever credits. But at the beginning you get really colourful, vibrant credits, neon colours, and it kind of sets
like
the
spray
tone.
paint.
Yeah. So I don't even know what to say. What we would say, like, it's not brilliant, but it's not a bedong film.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
I enjoyed how cool it was because it looks.
It was
cool.
very cool.
Like every shot is cool.
Yeah.
Like you'll come out of the film if the one thing you take from it, that was cool.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in the middle. So normally I would give our review either a bedong for bad and wrong or a, what do you call it? A
Gawsome. For great and awesome.
For great and awesome. But we're in the middle of that, so we're just going meh. Yeah. Okay, thanks for watching the Ruby Tuesday film review. We're going to be doing Death Note really soon, and we've got more Marvel Netflix previews coming up. So we got lots of reviews coming up. So stick with us.
Yeah, and please do let us know what you thought of this film, because I think it's an interesting one. I think some people are going to absolutely love it, and some people like us are going to go,
Eh.
and I'd love to know what your opinion is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.